fighting in very hot conditions compared to the Eastern Front and the cold areas of Germany. I have my ammunition pouches, my water bottle, my entrenching tool, and within the ammunition pouches I could carry all kinds of equipment that was suitable for the rest of my squad. For example, there would be riflemen who would be in cahoots with the team that was shooting the boys' anti-tank rifle, which will also be shooting. That's a 50 caliber weapon. This is very similar caliber, 303, to the other ones that you've just heard. We will be firing some of these. This is when we were talking about the better construction rifles in the early part of the war. A battle rifle only had a life of about 6 weeks. This is a very early Lithgow rifle, which has been through 2 world wars. It's covered in stampings which show that it came backwards and forwards, getting new bits of timber work, a new nose cap, things like that. This rifle here, it's a late war, number 4, lee-enfield rifle, a lot more stampings, a lot easier to build, a lot quicker and cheaper to make.
Why do you say recruitment down the nose on the land?
Now the rifles are also adapted for grenade launching. My German friend here will show you the rifle has a cup on the end. You basically prime the grenade, put it in the cup, fire a blank round, and the grenade would shoot off. It was all very. You just learned how to do it, and you learned how far the thing was going to go. You'll see also that it's bound up with bits of copper wire. The idea of that is not to hold it all together just because it's going to fail, but because you've got such a huge amount of pressure built up there trying to shift a huge amount of metal compared to a little tiny bullet, there's always a chance that something's going to break, and the wire is just a safety measure. So what we'll do now is we'll fire some rounds with the grenade launcher. We'll show you how they fire the grenade launcher, and I will fire rounds with the Lithgow SMLE. The rifles are charger loaded. Put the bullets in there like that, and you're ready to go. Fire. 1, 2, 3, fire! 1, 2, 3, fire! One, two, three, fire! 1, 2, 3, fire! The advantage of this over the Mauser rifle is it's got 10 rounds in there, whereas the Mauser's got 5. Hey. Oh, too many toys, sorry ladies and gentlemen. This is the boys' anti-tank rifle. Now, later stages of the war you had rifles which, you had tanks which had 1.5 foot of armour. There's no point in pointing this thing at them, but they were still used against soft-skinned vehicles, or, cars, things like that. The boys' anti-tank rifle was produced in 1939. It was particularly made to work against the early tanks, which had 1.5 inches of armour. It was exceptionally useful at that. They were also produced later in the war, and the Americans used them in the islands against the Japanese tanks, who were typically lighter and thinner steel armour plating.